If you're just beginning in voiceovers, you're going to need some equipment. So at its basic level, you will need one of these, you will need some of this kind of stuff, and you will need one of these, and a pair of these. So let's get started. Let's begin with the microphone. What kind of mic do you need? Well, the basic rule of thumb is we use something called a condenser. Now, a condenser mic has a diaphragm in it. It's like a little capsule that picks up a lot of the notes in your voice. So it goes from the high end, the higher frequencies in your voice, the treble, if you like, the mid-range, very important area, and the bassier notes as well. So don't use the microphone on your phone or your laptop or your iPad or whatever. They're just tiny pinpricks and they just won't pick up enough. Now, there are two sorts of condenser mic. You can go for an XLR mic, which this one is, or you can go for a USB. A USB mic is cheap and cheerful, it's plug and play, it's often a good place to start, but they've got a couple of downsides. One is that they tend to be quite noisy, and they've got a lot of hiss or white noise in the background. And the other is they tend to not have the detail that a standard XLR mic has. That said, a USB mic is certainly worth considering if you're on a limited budget. And microphones you might want to consider are the Blue Yeti, or you might want to try an MXL Tempo or an AT2020 USB, or indeed a Rode USB mic as well. But make sure they are condensers. The alternative to the USB method is called XLR, and that is the preferred type of microphone used by studios, professional studios. And they've got, if you look, this is typical XLR here, they've got three prongs, which is where the XLR comes from. One prong is X, one's L and one's R. And they have a male to female cable to connect them. But unfortunately, they can't connect directly into your computer. You can't put them straight into your laptop or your desktop or whatever, because it's this XLR cable. So what you have to do is buy an interface, and this is a separate box, like a sound card really, that powers the mic with something called phantom power, 48 volts of phantom power. And then it's the box itself, the actual interface, that connects with your computer. There is a huge range of XLR mics and interfaces. Companies to consider are Rode, they make very good microphones. Also, the Focusrite interfaces are very good, but also PreSonus, consider those, and Steinberg, Audient. The list is endless. So check out some of the reviews and see which you fancy. And in terms of the price you can spend, well, a Rode would cost you maybe 100 odd quid, £150, but don't forget you've got to buy your box as well. Or the sky's the limit. If you went for a Neumann U87, you would be spending something in the region of £2,000. Now, I don't recommend that, even if you've got that kind of budget. It wouldn't be a sensible use of your money at this stage because you're trying to get some return on your investment. The point about XLR mics, though, plus the interface, is that they give you better quality, better reproduction, and a lower noise floor. So they're less internally noisy, and that helps with your recording. However, even if you spent an absolute fortune on your microphone and your interface, it would still sound rubbish if you recorded in an echoey room like a bathroom or a kitchen. So you need to record in a room like a bedroom or somewhere where you've got lots of soft furnishings. And you can use stuff like this, which is basically acoustic foam. But you don't have to go out and buy those kinds of professional acoustic tiles. Things like soft furnishings will work. So consider duvets, blankets, pillows, anything that's soft and can absorb that sound. And you can also use something called serge curtain. Now, serge is really thick curtain material, and it's the kind of curtain material you get in the theatre. And that's why when you go into a theatre, even if it's a large auditorium, it sounds fairly sort of quiet and it feels cozy, even if it's a big room. And that's because of this serge curtain. They are quite expensive, though, so you can replicate that with curtains with linings and, like I say, with duvets and blankets and mattresses and so on. And then the other thing you're going to need is a pair of headphones. And headphones basically are for your monitoring. You can listen live to yourself while you're recording, and certainly you'll want to use them when you're playing back. Try and get headphones that are encased and closed, because otherwise you might get something called howl round or feedback from the microphone. So they need to be enclosed and fit snugly to your head. And then you're going to need something called a pop shield, or sometimes it's called a pop stopper, and this is one, and it's basically a piece of gauze. What it's doing is stopping the plosive consonants, and it's just filtering out and diffusing the air so that when you do a P or a B, but particularly a P, a plosive consonant, you don't get that sound. There you go, a quick guide to getting set up recording from home, and that's the basic equipment that you're going to need. Good luck and happy recording.